Chapter 1, Lesson 9, and we want to look at or wrap up this chapter by looking at formulas. And formulas are a very important part of mathematics, and really science, mathematics is really, that's all we're about, are formulas, because formulas are really mathematical sentences that describe the relationships between different quantities. And really that's what we do in science, is what we do in math. We try to figure out, well, what's the relationship between this particular thing and this? Is there a relationship, let's say, between how much study you get and how good your grades are? Is there a relationship between how much video game you play and how your grades are? And the formulas that we figure are a way of calculating a mathematical value to those particular relationships. So we'll look at formulas, what they are. We'll look a little bit at dimensional analysis, and then we'll do a few examples. So a formula is an equation. So we just learned what equations are. Yep, that's not what I wanted to do. Formulas are equations, okay, and they show the relationship between two or more variables, all right? Because formulas are equations, we can evaluate formulas, and remember, evaluate simply means we substitute in a value and then simplify it, as we've done with any other algebraic expression. And then we can also use mathematical properties to solve the formula for a missing value. So all of the things that we've done up till now and all of the things that we've learned, really a formula is just an extension of that. So there really is not a lot of information other than applying now what we know about algebraic expressions and mathematical properties and evaluating to some, what we might say, real world types of situations. So a formula is simply an equation. That's all it is. You've got something on the one side of the equation and something on the other, and they're determined to be equal. These equations have two or more variables in them, and we can evaluate them and we can solve them just like we've done with every other mathematical expression that we've had up until now. So an equation like E equals mc squared, maybe something you've recognized from reading or whatever. It's a fairly common formula, and notice we have all variables. There's an E variable on the left, and that is equal to this m variable times the c variable squared. So this is a formula, so we're going to be working with these moving forward, but again, the idea here is that it's simply describing a relationship between quantities, and the variables represent these quantities, but what we've done with equations that have numbers, we can do with equations that just have letters. So just understand this, that formulas are equations. So what you know about equations, you can apply to formulas because that's all they are. All right? All right. In the next video, we'll take a look at what are some important ideas about understanding formulas, and then we'll look at evaluating some formulas and doing some examples.